At the start of the movie, Gwen arrives at the all-tucked-in motel in the dead of night, ready to begin her new job as the night shift manager. As she steps inside, she rings the front desk bell, but no one answers. The eerie silence makes her uneasy, and as she glances around, her eyes lock onto a yogi hanging on the wall. Something about it seems off, but before she can dwell on it, she decides to explore the motel. While wandering through the dimly lit hallway, she notices something strange. Room 18's door is wide open. Cautiously, she steps inside, but the room appears empty. Then, out of nowhere, she bumps into Teddy Miles, the motel manager, who had just finished cleaning. Teddy seems friendly and straightforward, giving Gwen a rundown of the place. It's good, it's bad, and the things she should keep an eye on. He mentions that the job pays in cash, and as they talk, the yogi suddenly crashes to the floor. Teddy shrugs it off, explaining that he inherited the motel from his grandfather and is planning a remodel if his loan gets approved. He continues the tour, leading her to the supply room, which holds all the motel's essentials. But then, he gives her a warning. The door can only be opened from the outside. To prevent getting trapped, he props it open with a brick. Outside, Gwen notices the motel's abandoned pool, surrounded by caution tape. Teddy explains that a sinkhole opened up last summer, and while he reported it to the county, the response was slow. They're finally supposed to fix it this weekend. Normally, Teddy works double shifts, but tonight, he has a date, meaning Gwen will be alone. When she asks about security, he reassures her, nothing bad has ever happened here. But if she ever feels unsafe, she can lock herself in the parlor and call him. With that, Teddy leaves for the night, and just as his car disappears down the road, Gwen feels a chill. From the corner of her eye, she spots a shadowy figure watching her. A wave of unease washes over her. Shaking it off, she checks the key holder and realizes room 6 is occupied. A guest named Ms. Marsh is staying for one night. Deciding to check on her, Gwen knocks on the door. When Ms. Marsh opens it, Gwen's stomach drops. Her fingernails are filthy, caked with blood and dirt. Trying to ignore the uneasy feeling, Gwen goes about her duties. As she's cleaning, she notices a black car creeping past the motel. The driver is watching her. Her skin prickles, but she forces herself to move on. Later, while stripping the sheets in room 8, she stumbles upon something odd. She doesn't linger on it, just tosses the dirty bedding into the wash and moves on. Stepping outside, she sees a woman entering the lobby. Assuming it's a guest, she follows, but when she steps inside, the lobby is empty. Brushing it off, she orders food. Soon after, the reception phone rings. She answers, silence. The line goes dead. A second later, it rings again. This time, she checks the caller ID and freezes. The call is coming from room 13. Gwen's heart pounds. She knows that room is empty. Picking up the phone, she hears a faint, ghostly laughter. Fear tightens around her chest, but she grabs a knife for protection and heads to room 13. The door creaks open, and she steps inside. Empty. The phone is there, but there's no sign it was used. Just as she turns to leave, the phone rings again. She looks at the caller ID. The call is now coming from the reception desk. Her breath catches. She knows there's no one there. Then, a ghostly figure lunges at her. Gwen screams and stumbles backward, her heart hammering in terror, only to collide with Alice, the girl from cabin 6. Alice just wants a replacement hairdryer. In the storage room, while searching for the dryer, Alice casually asks what Gwen saw in room 13. Gwen brushes it off, blaming exhaustion. Maybe she's imagining things. Just as she finds the dryer, Alice accidentally knocks over the brick. The door slams shut. The light flickers. Alice starts to panic. She's terrified of the dark. Suddenly, rats scurry across the floor. They both jump, their fear rising. Then, a knock. The door creaks open, revealing the food delivery guy. Gwen exhales in relief. As they sit and eat, Alice opens up about her past. Her mother is controlling, harsh. After a huge fight, she ran away from home. But as she talks, Gwen can't shake the feeling that something is very, very wrong with this motel. Feeling sympathetic, Gwen gently suggests that Alice's mother might be out there looking for her. But Alice shrugs it off, saying her mom once grounded her for a month over something ridiculous, so she doubts she even cares. Gwen relates to her struggles, admitting that her own mother was just as strict and difficult at times. But despite everything, she still loved her. Her mother has since passed away, and she firmly believes that family matters no matter what. She warns Alice that the world can be dangerous, especially for someone trying to make it on their own. Wanting to lighten the mood, Gwen heads to the vending machine to grab 2 Cokes. But as she waits, her stomach knots. The same black car from earlier is back. It slows down near the motel before creeping past her. A chill runs down her spine. Something isn't right. She hurries back to the lobby, locking the door behind her. Just as she tries to calm herself, Alice suddenly touches her shoulder, and Gwen jumps, dropping the Cokes. Alice notices her shaken expression and realizes something is seriously bothering her. Sensing Gwen needs space, Alice simply thanks her for the food and heads back to her room. As Gwen bends down to clean up the mess, a loud thud echoes through the lobby. She freezes. Turning her head slowly, she sees that the yogi statue has fallen. Again. Before she can process it, she hears the rumble of a car pulling into the parking lot. Her instincts kick in. She grabs a knife and cautiously approaches the reception desk. The door swings open, and in walk Warner and Birdie, a lively, flirtatious couple. They want to rent a room for just an hour. Laughing, they explain they ditched a boring art gallery and now want to salvage their night with some fun. But Gwen shakes her head. Motel policy doesn't allow hourly stays. Annoyed, Warner insults the motel, clearly frustrated. After some grumbling, he finally agrees to a full night booking, and Gwen reluctantly hands them the key to room 2. Later, while making her rounds, strange noises coming from room 2 catch Gwen's attention. Curious, she peeks through the window shutters and her eyes widen in shock. Inside, Birdie is whipping Warner. Before she can react, Birdie's head snaps toward the window. Gwen ducks, her heart pounding, then quickly flees, hiding behind their car before she's caught. Trying to shake off what she just saw, Gwen heads to the abandoned pool area. Her eyes drift toward the sinkhole, still left unrepaired. Something about it draws her in. As she steps closer, she grips the metal pool ladder for support. But suddenly, it gives way. Gwen loses her balance and plummets into the sinkhole, her body slamming against the jagged earth. Pain shoots through her leg. And then, she hears it. A ghostly girl begins to emerge from the darkness, her pale figure creeping toward Gwen. Her breath hitches. The girl's face is distorted, her hollow eyes locked onto Gwen. Gwen screams, scrambling to escape. Just then, Alice rushes in, pulling her to safety. Gasping for air, Gwen stares at her in shock, trying to process what just happened. As Alice treats her wounds, she finally comes clean. She already knew the motel was haunted. In fact, that was one of the reasons she came. She had heard stories about this place and wanted to see if the rumors were true. Before Gwen can respond, her eyes catch movement. Warner and Birdie are leaving the motel. Something about them feels off, but before she can dwell on it, she turns to Alice. It's time to tell her the truth. Taking a deep breath, Gwen reveals a dark secret from her past. Years ago, when she was Alice's age, a man named Walton Gray broke into her house and murdered her mother and sisters. Gwen was the only one who survived. The police caught Walton and locked him in a mental institution, but 2 days ago, he escaped. And what terrified Gwen the most? She found her mother's necklace, the one she thought was lost the night of the massacre, sitting in her mailbox. Walton sent it to her. Realizing he was coming for her, she panicked and fled town. But now, she knows he followed her. She's already seen him twice today. And if he's here, Alice isn't safe either. Gwen warns her to lock her door and stay inside. As she turns to leave, she sees something that makes her blood run cold. A little girl is standing in the lobby. Gwen calls out to her. No response. She looks around. The girl is gone. Confused, Gwen checks the security cameras and sees the girl standing outside. But when she looks out the window, there's no one there. Turning back to the screen, she finds the girl has disappeared. Then, suddenly, she bumps into something. Her breath catches. It's the girl, but something is wrong. The girl isn't human. She's a ghost. Fear grips Gwen as she stumbles back, rushing into a room and locking the door behind her. Her hands tremble as she dials Teddy, demanding to know why he never told her the motel was haunted. She frantically recounts everything she has seen, but Teddy insists the place isn't haunted, claiming he has never experienced anything unusual. Gwen doesn't believe him. Angry and terrified, she makes up her mind. This will be her last night here. Then, the front desk bell rings. Still shaken, she takes a deep breath and steps out to assist the guest. But as soon as she sees who it is, she freezes. It's him, the man who has been following her all day. Keeping her composure, she books him a room for the night, handing over the key to room 8. As they walk outside, unease creeps over her. She notices the black car parked nearby, the same one from earlier. Inside the room, Gwen pretends to fetch a clean towel. As the man is distracted, she quietly sneaks behind him, gripping a pair of scissors. In one swift motion, she attacks. Blood spills, but instead of collapsing, the man groans in shock. Gwen stares. Something is wrong. He isn't reacting like a killer would, because he isn't one. His real name is Raymond Bailey. He isn't some murderer chasing her. He's her doctor. Everything around her starts to blur as Raymond explains the truth. She has been under his care at Ashford Psychiatric Facility for the last 12 years. She escaped 2 nights ago. There was never a Walton Gray. He was nothing but a story she created. Gwen's body tenses, her mind struggling to process the words. But then, the final blow hits, her family's murder. She wasn't the victim. She was the one who killed them. The corpses she thought she had seen earlier flash in front of her eyes again, but now she sees them for what they really are: hallucinations. The motel was never haunted. Everything was in her head. And then, realization turns to rage. Before Raymond can react, she drives the scissors into his throat. His body drops, blood pooling at her feet. Outside, an Ashford hospital van pulls up. 2 men step out. They've come to take her back, but Gwen isn't going anywhere. A cold smile creeps across her face as she lures them inside. And then, one by one, she kills them too. Hearing the commotion, Alice hesitates before stepping out of her room to investigate. What she finds sends a chill down her spine. 3 lifeless bodies sprawled on the floor. And standing over them is Gwen, clutching a blood-stained pair of scissors. Alice's breath catches. Gwen lifts her head, locking eyes with her. Alice bolts. She rushes back to her room, slamming the door shut and locking it. Her hands shake as she backs away. Then, suddenly, the power goes out. The room plunges into darkness. And in the silence, Alice hears it. The sound of Gwen trying to unlock the door. Heart pounding, she stumbles into the bathroom, fumbling for her phone. But the screen stays black. The battery is dead. Then, crash. The door bursts open. Alice doesn't think. She scrambles to the bathroom window and climbs out. The moment her feet hit the ground, she sprints toward the lobby, grabbing a knife for protection. Her eyes dart around in desperation. Gwen's car keys. She snatches them and rushes outside. Just as she reaches the car, Gwen appears. An axe swings toward her. Alice barely dodges in time, the blade slicing through the air just inches away. Without hesitation, she plunges the knife into Gwen's side. Gwen gasps, staggering back as Alice takes her chance and flees. Reaching the hospital van, she yanks the door handle. Locked. The keys are missing. Panic surges through her veins. She has no choice. She has to go back. She dashes toward room 8, desperately searching for the keys. But before she can escape, Gwen is there. The axe swings down. Alice gasps, collapsing. Gwen stands over her, eyes empty. And then, without hesitation, she finishes her off. Moments later, Teddy arrives at the motel. Something feels off. As he steps inside, he notices the door to room 8 is wide open. Inside, everything is eerily clean. No signs of struggle, no bodies, except for a faint bloodstain on the bed. A chill creeps down his spine. He steps back, calling out for Gwen as he makes his way toward the pool area. Then, suddenly, she emerges from the water. Dripping wet, she watches him. Confused, Teddy hesitates. He asks what she was doing down there. Gwen tilts her head. A slow smile spreads across her face. "Come closer," she whispers. "I'll show you." 1 year later. A college student named Cole is driving to Ashford for school. It's a long 7-hour journey, and as night falls, he decides to stop at a small roadside motel. All tucked in, the place looks different. Freshly painted. A brand new neon sign. A fully built pool. When Cole arrives, he's greeted warmly by the motel's owner, Gwen. She welcomes him in, chatting casually as she hands him the key to room 8. As they talk, she mentions the pool, reminiscing about how the hole in the ground used to be so big it could fit 5 people. Then, the truth settles in. That's exactly what it did. Beneath that pristine pool, the bodies remain. As Cole walks to his room, Gwen suddenly sees them, the ghosts of her family, the ones she murdered. Alice, Teddy. They stare at her, their eyes hollow, unblinking. But she doesn't fear them. Not anymore. And then, as if on cue, the yogi statue on the wall falls once again. With that, the movie ends. So what do you think? Did you see that twist coming? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.